y'all already know what time it is. It is time for the mess. Business, y'all. This be your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new episode of Yes for the Mess, okay? And we're here to discuss all things housewives. We're gonna talk about Andy Cohen and Nene, and we're gonna talk about Porsha Laya Williams, okay? Because she came on the Tamron Hall show, and we're gonna listen to this whole damn interview, and we're gonna dissect it. We're gonna stop at it. We're gonna have some talking points and all of that other good shit, okay? We're gonna talk about some things today, all right? Now, before we get into today's Yes for the Mess, I just want to send a special shout out to everybody that supported Terrence, Josiah, and myself as we gagged last night on Porsha's Family Matters, okay? So just like we said, depending on how you guys react to it, we will be doing it every week, depending on the reaction and depending on how me and Josiah and Terrence feel about the situation. So shout out to everybody that tuned in, okay? Now, without any further ado, I also want to tell you guys, be on the lookout for Friday night's episode of Boys Night Out, which stars myself, Terrence, Josiah, Maddie Rance, and Jamar84. We have a great show for you guys, okay? We'll be starting at 9:15 Eastern Time, 8:15 Central Time, so be sure to tune into the show, okay? So, without any further ado, let's get into this episode of Yes for the Mess. Now, as you guys already know, Nene Leakes, was fired last season from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She did not return for season 13. And after she was fired, she went on a whole tirade. She went in on Andy Cohen. She started trying to start a boycott against Bravo, telling everybody not to watch the show, calling them racist, even made allegations against Andy Cohen for being a quote-unquote cokehead, okay? She said all that and then some, okay? All that and then some. But now, Andy has not said anything derogatory about Nene. He has not spoken negatively in the press, okay? He has not said nothing that will make her look bad or nothing that would make us look at him sideways, okay? He ain't did none of that. So, apparently when Nene's husband Greg Leakes died earlier this year, he sent some flowers and some high regards to her and her family and all of that stuff. So apparently things look like they would be in a good place or relationships would be mended because of that. Because sometimes when people pass on or whatever, things can be mended. You kind of put things to the side and just move on with your life and just not really worry about things that don't really matter. Because sometimes death can put things into perspective for people and sometimes it don't really matter anymore. But to be honest, after that, she even said that she would not mind coming on the Housewives of Atlanta once again and reclaim her throne because she still got unfinished business with the rest of the girls on the show. She said that recently on The Real. Now, without any further ado, what we're going to do, I have an article here from Bossip.com where it discussed Andy Cohen's remarks and rebuttals to Nene's desire of returning to the Housewives of Atlanta. So what we're going to do is we're going to read this article, we're going to play some audios and stuff like that, and then we're going to dissect it and move on, okay? So let's get into the article. A Bravo boss is responding to a former housewife's comments that she will return to the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise. As previously reported, Nene Leakes surprisingly said that she will return to the Real Housewives of Atlanta despite previously claiming that she received unfair and discriminatory treatment. Nene told the ladies of The Real that she would be happy to return to the show if she had to sit down with executive producer Andy Cohen to discuss unfinished business, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm about to play the clip from that particular interview with The Real, and then we're going to continue on with the article. Let's get into the audio.
Okay, well, the question that people really want to know, Nene, you know it. Would you return?
Yes, Nene.
Yeah, sure. I'll return to the show. I'm okay with returning to the show as long as, we can work through a few things. I'm happy to return to the show. And besides, I have a lot of unfinished business with a couple of them that they confirmed on the show.
Like what kind of business, Nene? What could get you to come back?
I think Andy and I were really close for a really, really long time. And I love Benny Boo, and I helped pay for his baby shower and all those things. I think that Andy and I need to have a sit down and talk, and then we're off to the race.
Nene just gotta let somebody know that she paid for something, honey. Now on The Real airing Wednesday, December 1st, Andy is issuing a response. When Loni Love asked Andy directly to respond to Nene's comments, Andy played it cool and instead focused on Real Housewives of Atlanta's forthcoming season. That would feature Marlo Hampton as a full-time housewife and Sheree Whitfield's return. Now, here is the audio of what Andy Cohen had to say in regards to the situation. Let's get into it.
Housewives of Atlanta star Nene Leakes was recently on our show. She said that she would be up for returning to the show if you two had a conversation. Check out what she said, Andrew.
I think Andy and I were really close for a really, really long time. And I love Benny Boo, and I helped pay for his baby shower and all those things. I think that Andy and I need to have a sit down and talk, and then we're off to the races.
Oh, boy. What's your response, Annie?
Well, you know, first of all, I love it that you keep calling me Andrew, because that is my name, Loni. I am Andrew J. Cohen, so very good. You know, we're in the midst of shooting season 14 of the Atlanta Housewives, and it's great. And Marlo has her peach, and Sheree is back. And we have some new faces and some great faces, and Kenya Moore is on fire. And so I am really focused right now on season 14 of the Housewives of Atlanta and not really looking beyond that right now.
So in so many words, no. Andy declining to comment on Nene's bid to return to Real Housewives of Atlanta comes after the reality star bashed him by calling him a racist and a queen who no one knew before she joined Housewives of Atlanta. Nene also alleged that Bravo unfairly pushed her out of the Real Housewives, and she enlisted attorney Ben Crump to embolden claims that she's a victim of racial discrimination by the network. All I'm gonna say is this right here: Nene fucked up her own bag. She decided to go out there and start making all these allegations and these claims against these folks, and now she want to turn around and come crawling back to the show like we already knew she would want to at the end of the day. You did that to yourself, and you expect us to feel sorry for you? We don't care. Like I said before, I would not mind seeing Nene back on the show. She's a big part of the show. I definitely wouldn't mind her coming back. But at the end of the day, you can't do nothing but blame your fucking self for the situation. You did that. You decided to call that man a cokehead. You decided to call these people racist. You decided to say you was discriminated against. You said all of that. So you don't have no one to blame for this but your damn self. But your damn self, honestly. That's it. That's it. That's all that really matters at this point. That's all you had was yourself to blame for this. So at the end of it all, for those of you Nene fans that really want her back and all this other stuff, you can't expect for these folks to try to bring her back to this show. And all in all, she ain't do shit but scandalize these people's names, talk about them like dogs and all this other stuff. You can't expect for them to want to bring her ass back after she did all that. Like, you can't do that. So at the end of the day, y'all need to hush the fuck up and leave it the fuck alone at the end of the day, because she did that. She did it to herself. She fucked up her own bag. She made herself look bad, made herself look stupid as fuck, and that's just that on that. So sorry, I don't feel bad for her. I don't feel sorry for her. She did that. I ain't saying that they didn't do none of that shit to her, but if you're gonna go out there and make these public allegations against these people, you gotta know what the fuck you doing. You gotta know what the fuck you working with. You made yourself a liability, and that's just what it is. If you came back, you would have a great storyline. You just lost your husband. Your son gotta grow up without your husband. You know, it's different things that we can delve into, and I would not have mind watching it. But at the end of the day, you fucked it up for your own self. So it is what it is, Nene. It is what it is. I'm sorry, but I don't feel bad for you, girl. You did that to yourself. I'm sorry. Now, we're about to move on to Porsha Laya Williams. Now, Porsha went to the Tamron Hall show, gave an interview promoting her book For Pursuit of Porsha, and everybody has a lot of things to say about it. So we're going to listen to this interview. We're going to have a little bit of some stopping points, and we're going to discuss it as the interview goes along, and we're going to continue on. So let's get into this interview with Porsha Williams from Tamron Hall, because she talked about her relationship with R. Kelly. She talked about Fallon and Simon and all of that stuff, and you know I got some things to say about that, so we about to get into it right now.
Reveal something I did not know, and I don't think many people knew, this relationship with R. Kelly. And you write about him. I wanted to believe I wasn't a girl he was locking in his room to use whenever he wanted. You kept your interactions with him a secret. when he started to be accused of these crimes against young girls, and then it escalates, and then it's on trial and he's convicted, were you thinking, I've got to tell? Or did you think, I don't want to be in the middle of this?
You know, putting R. Kelly's name in the book, because some people I named, some people I didn't name,
Yeah.
and putting his name in the book, it's just putting a name to another face that I had already encountered before. He had just been one of the men who was a predator in my life, who had taken advantage of me and mentally abused me in my life. So I saw him no different than those same men. That same darkness, that same treatment, they faced and met the same Portia who did not know her self-worth. I didn't love myself. I didn't see who I was in those situations. You know, I was a grown woman. I had a penthouse in Buckhead. I had my own business. I wasn't your usual so-called victim. But because as a young woman, I did not value who I was, I only wanted to be what someone else thought I needed to be.
You wrote in
so
this
that's how I
book-
found myself in those situations.
You wrote, which I think is interesting that you say you found yourself in these situations. I felt when I was reading it, is she blaming herself for some of this? And you wrote, I'm of R. Kelly at the time. I'm in his bedroom. I've already been in his house for hours. It's 3 or 4 in the morning. I've already put myself in this position. This is what you're supposed to do. You have to. You have to do it. There's no turning back. That's what you wrote about your first one of the sexual encounters. And I thought, why is she saying this? I put myself in this position.
When I wrote those moments in the book and being that detailed, I had to go back to that mind frame. And a lot of victims do blame themselves.
Yeah.
They honestly do. We think, the public could tell you, anybody could tell you, there's every reason why you should not be there. So that causes you to blame yourself. So I did a lot of victim blaming, a lot of shaming of myself. And that's what silenced me for a very long time to speak out on any of the sexual abuse that I encountered in my life. And I often thought about, oh my gosh, especially when I got on Housewives, it was like, I have this platform, you know, people are starting to know me. Let me start using my voice. But I just felt so small still. I wasn't ready. I hadn't healed and gotten to the place to be able to speak up like those women did on the R. Kelly special. You know, us as victims, we have to get to a place and deal with what we went through and what our mind frame was at the time to be able to speak out and help somebody else.
It is very powerful. I do have to note that we reached out to R. Kelly's representatives for comment, and we did not hear back. Here we go.
And that was the part where she was talking about R. Kelly. Now, I made the decision not to play the entire thing because I know this video was already long. I don't think y'all really cared to hear about her situations as a kid when she contemplated suicide. One thing, but I will touch on it though. I will. I felt her pain in that situation because I'm an advocate for anti-bullying, because I was bullied in school. I've always been open about it. I've always talked about it. Always been open about my experiences with school bullying and depression and all of that stuff. So I definitely understand where she's coming from, and I definitely felt her pain in that particular point of the interview. Definitely understood that. But when it comes down to this R. Kelly thing, it's just that Portia be lying a lot, y'all. And I'm not the type of person that victim blames. I'm not the person that points the finger at the person that said it. Because when she first put it out there that R. Kelly did some things to her, I never just said that she was lying. But sometimes it's hard to believe what Portia be saying, because Portia be lying her ass off sometimes. And it's hard for me to really be on her side, because her whole existence on the Housewives of Atlanta is her lying on somebody. Her saying that somebody trying to do something to her saying somebody trying to drug her and take her home and all of this other stuff. So it's like, we never would have thought that she had anything going with R. Kelly. Now, I don't want to be a hypocrite and just point out and just flat out say she lying, because when all of those women came forward with the R. Kelly story and Surviving R. Kelly, and I reviewed it in the past and all this other stuff, I believed a lot of those women, not all of them. but I believe the mass majority of those women. It's just that with Porsha, she be lying sometimes, and there'd be a lot of holes in her damn story, so we really don't know what it was. And I thought that, if I'm not mistaken, on the interview, she said that she had a whole bottle of pills when she was 6, 7, or 8 years old, but then said her very first thought of suicide was at the age of 10. But if it was at the age of 10, why was you trying to take a whole bottle of pills at the ages of 6, 7, or 8 years old? See, she's not consistent with her fucking stories. I don't know what to believe when it come down to Porsha. So I can understand why somebody would side-eye Porsha when it come down to this story. But I'm not the type of person to do it. All I'm saying is, I hope that she ain't lying. This ain't no shit that you fucking lie about, period. You don't lie about no bullshit like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't lie about no bullshit like this at all. So, all I gotta say is, Porsha, you better be telling the fucking truth, because if I find out you not telling the truth, I'm dragging your ass. And that's just that on that. Now, let's get to the rest of the interview, y'all.
Woke up this morning, social media, tabloids, all reacting to the episode that just aired of your show.
Yes.
Your fiance, Simon. When is the wedding? When is the wedding?
Right now, we haven't set our date. We are dating right now. He's still courting me, in the
Wait,
South.
how are you engaged and dating?
You don't date your husband?
No, I married him.
You should be dating. You should be keeping the excitement going. We're enjoying
That's
it.
not keeping the excitement going, dummy.
To be married.
Right, and I'm still his special sweetheart. We are in the honeymoon phase. We're enjoying each other.
You're not in the honeymoon phase. You're not married.
Okay.
And you don't need to be dating. We date. Date nights are important. It's important.
When he proposed, we set a wedding date, and we followed through.
Yes, but you want to still keep up that nice feeling, getting dressed.
Your wedding date prevent you from doing that?
In the South, we call it.
I'm Southern.
We call it the
Thank you,
courtship.
Tamara.
And he's still just treating me so special. We just bought a home together. We're about to move in. We've got so much going on that
You're buying I'm Southern. You're buying a home before marriage. That breaks a Southern rule.
No, we bought a home. We already bought the home. We closed already.
I do believe the wedding is going to proceed. I think you're holding something back. I don't know what it is. You are.
Porsha is a liar, y'all. That girl don't do nothing but lie. All she do is lie, 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 lie. First of all, you stupid as fuck to be buying a house with a man that is not your fucking husband. You're buying a house with a man that you're engaged to with no wedding date set at all. Y'all not getting married, and if y'all do get married, I'm gonna be fucking surprised. I don't believe y'all getting married worth a goddamn, okay? You can say that shit for somebody who give a damn and who gives a fuck, but you're not fooling me, okay? You can't fool me. I see right through you in your fashion fair makeup, bitch. You don't fool me. Because my thing is, how the fuck y'all gonna say that y'all are engaged to be married but don't have no damn wedding date? When you get engaged to someone, don't you set a wedding date? Don't you already have that, girl? You've been engaged since fucking May. How the hell you don't have no damn wedding date? Talk about we're still dating. You're still dating but got a fucking engagement ring. Who the fuck does Porsha think she fooling? Oh, I'm from the South, and Tamara from the South too, girl. Don't try to blame the South for your stupid ass decisions. Y'all, this is why I drag Porsha. She's an unlikable ass person, and y'all sit up here and y'all fall for the goofy, bubbly, dumb girl, cheerleader personality and don't even see what's right in front of you. This girl is a dumbass, okay? She's dumb as fuck. She's not intelligent. I feel sorry for the person that she's raising, because to have a mother like that is ridiculous. Porsha is full of shit. I'm sorry, but she is. She's a liar. She just ain't. Girl, let's continue, child. Let's fucking continue.
I'm just being honest with you. So Simon, well, this perhaps is why. So Simon revealed on the show that his grandfather had 25 wives. That's a lot. And that prompted you apparently to ask him if he'd ever cheat. He responded, if he'd ever cheated. And he responded, of course, everybody has cheated, which is true for some people, not everybody. And then people started commenting, believing that you were setting yourself up for a problematic relationship again.
Let's start with he's Nigerian. Hello?
What does that mean?
It's his culture. It's his culture. It's Nigerian culture. They are allowed and is open to have multiple wives. Some have 2. His father had 2. Grandfather had 25, 60-something grandkids. Yeah. But, you know, Simon has been in America since he was about 17 years old. And I'm American.
Yeah.
So we're going to have one wife and one husband.
The show is called It's My Relationship, Not Yours. And your family has come in and people have stepped in. And one of the questions that repeatedly comes up is, was there some type of line crossed with a friend in the show that has set you off on this journey where people feel like they should chime in? So the backstory for people who don't know, Simon was introduced on the show with his then wife, Fallon. At some point, that marriage ended, and you and Simon announced on social media that you were a couple. Mm-hmm. People seem to believe that you'd crossed a friend line.
Because she did.
That you'd broken some girl code.
Because she did.
What is the real story here?
And that's okay. You know, I dealt with...
And that's okay. Girl, because you know you did.
Everybody's opinions, but really it was the emotion of my supporters, because they, you know, like, oh my gosh, Portia wouldn't dare do this. Oh my gosh, she's a husband still and all that.
Because you
are. Listen, I'm on a show. Real Housewives of Atlanta is a show meant for entertainment. When we bring people on the show to try out to be casted, they have to be brought in by another cast member, and sometimes those things are kind of put in a way other than how it actually is.
So it's fake. You weren't really friends.
I'm not gonna. I wanted to be. What I wanted for her was to introduce her into the show for her to be a housewife, but it didn't work out. She ended up wanting to be friends with someone else, and you know,
my head is spinning.
Long story short, they didn't choose her.
Yeah.
Was she a friend of mine? No. She was going to be casted on the show. It didn't work out for her. Simon and I actually have mutual friends, and I've met him over the years here and there. And, you know, so for me, there was no personal connection.
You said you've met him over the years, but you said that the first time you met Simon was with Fallon. Girl, you full of shit. You studied lying, and you studied like digging this big ass hole for yourself, girl. You're not doing yourself any favors. You a lying asshole. I'm telling you, girl, you lying.
Her when it came to him. So that's the thing that people didn't know that caused them to really like come hard at me. And it's okay. You know, I'm a grown woman. I know that I'm on Housewives and it looks a certain way, and you're going to have your opinions. And sometimes we ask for your opinions. If I want to be successful and show my personal life, then I'm asking for your opinions. And so may not always match up, but now hopefully people get what's happening.
And what is happening is that you feel you have found true love.
Well, she's just delivered a baby, so congratulations. It's in order. She's engaged, so all adults involved are happy. Yeah.
The bottom line is, though, you have found someone you believe that is your life partner.
That is my life partner, for sure, absolutely.
Well,
I'm in love. I'm just so blessed to be in this place in my life. You know, when you get to a place where you're living in your truth, and you really get to know yourself. During quarantine, I really looked at myself. That's when I wrote this book. To know yourself is to truly love yourself. All my faults, everything in that book, ups and downs, mistakes, bad decisions, I love Portia, I know Portia. So when I presented me to this man, Simon, he was meeting me in my truest self. So I knew my decision to say yes, no matter how fast it was. Well, I trusted my decision.
Listen, the speed, all of it are your decisions that you've made.
Yeah.
And most important, and besides the drama, whether it's real or not on the show, I deeply admire how vulnerable you were in talking about suicide as it relates to children and sexual abuse that far too many women experience and suffer in silence. For that, I applaud what you've done.
At the end of the day, Portia is lying her ass off, and y'all can't tell me nothing different. The bitch lying her ass off, and that's what I see with my 2 eyes. And if you don't like him, you can poke him out and give me 2 more. Like straight up, Portia lying. She's straight up lying. First of all, she keep on lying about when she met this man. She don't know when she met this motherfucker. Let you tell it. She talking about she met him over the years. First, him and Dennis were business partners. Now they don't even know each other. Then you get on Housewives and say that was your first time meeting him on the show. Then you say the reason why y'all got together was because you DM him. Then he turn around and say that you DM him. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's just fucking crazy. You lying. You lying and you doing whatever you possibly can to make yourself look good, and you're not doing any good things. You're not doing yourself any favors to make yourself look good at all. You're making yourself look dumb as fuck, but you can't make yourself look dumb because you are dumb. You're making yourself look like a liar, but you can't make yourself look like a liar because you are a liar. Like, it's just, girl, bye. Like, at the end of the day, like, Portia is full of shit. You can't tell me nothing different, nothing less, and you can't take it back. She full of shit. I'm telling y'all, she full of shit, and I'm sick of her ass. She need to stop lying so much, because that's exactly what the fuck she doing. She lying and she making herself look like a fucking fraud. And I've been calling her out for her fraudness since season 8 of Housewives of Atlanta. She's a fucking fraud. Y'all gonna listen to what I say. She's a fraud, and this show gonna continue to fucking expose her for the fraud that she is. Just keep watching and I'm gonna keep reviewing it. That's all I'm gonna say about it, y'all, because Portia is a damn fraud and y'all still eat whatever she gives y'all up. She'll feed you poison and you still will eat it, and that's just what it is. But y'all, what do y'all gotta say? What y'all gotta say about Andy Cohen basically saying no to NeNe Leakes coming back? And what do y'all gotta say about Portia Laya Williams and all the lies that she done told? Because she just keep on telling lies. This girl's so fucking dumb. Like, her damn grandfather is a part of African American history, and she don't even know what the fuck the Underground Railroad is. My great grandfather is a part of history in African American history. Like, he was one of the people that marched for us to vote and all types of stuff. He's in the history books. Nobody would even know that, but he was. So my thing about this is, girl, bye. Like, go somewhere and sit the fuck down. Portia is an embarrassment to everybody, herself, her child, her family, just everybody, because she's stupid. But with that being said, y'all, this be your boy Scotty by Nature TV. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Click the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I drop a video. And also, be sure to follow me on social media. My Twitter, my IG will be down below. If you want me to follow you back on IG, just hit me up in the DM with hashtag Team Scotty, and I will definitely follow y'all back. With that being said, you guys, your boys out of here. Until my next video, I'll holler at you later. Peace out.